Hey Joe, how are you?
Good morning. I'm well, Claire. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, Joe. Great to have you with us as well. Thank you.
Okay, so can you give me just the first couple introductions, like the first couple lines, introductions to your book? Tell me about it.
Um, yeah, so my book basically describes, um, a lifelong devotion to alcohol that it ultimately um, took me down, and I drifted into a psychotic state and was told that my family was told I would be that way for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And while they were trying to find a permanent home for me, they found a local treatment facility that agreed to hold me for 30 days while they figured out my forever home. They put me to bed the night I arrived there, and I woke up the following morning completely healed with no deficits, physically, cognitively. I was, and there's no medical explanation for what happened. And then over the coming months, God not only had physically healed, it led me to start to AA, where I learned that the key to sobriety is surrendering everything to God, turning my life and my will over to His care. And then a few months later, we came to learn that one of my relatives, the devout Catholic woman, I had shared with her that I had finally joined the Knights of Columbus. And by the way, I am related to the founder, Blessed Michael McGivney. And I found my way back to the church. I joined the Knights, and in a conversation with my Aunt Jerry, I shared that with her, and she started sobbing. And I thought she'd be happy and excited that I had joined the Knights. And she said, Joey, when you were sick, I was fervently praying to Father Michael to intercede. And she said, I'm actually looking at his picture right now.
Amazing.
So God has been tremendously good.
Joe, it's kind of probably a foregone conclusion. I already know the answer to the question, but knowing what you just told us, hearing what you just said about the book, why was it that you and Nicole decided to write it in the first place?
That's a great question. We really had three, objectives in mind. One was to raise awareness for the cause of canonization for Blessed Michael. He has proven to be, since his beatification, a very powerful intercessor. And two, we wanted to, through the book, bring hope and courage to not only the individuals, but their family members that suffer alongside them, that are addicts and alcoholics. And then third, even for people who are devout and have an abundance of faith, it's just a friendly reminder, I think, of God's power and that miracles still happen, and that prayer is the key to get there. So that was why we wrote the book.
Were there any warning signs before your collapse that this might be on its way?
There were some warning signs. What really took me down was COVID. I started drinking from the moment I woke up each morning till I either went to sleep or passed out each night. And that, chronic abuse during a period of months before I went down for the count, I started having vision issues. I started having balance issues. I was beginning to have memory lapses. Even saw a couple doctors to try to figure out what's going on during that period. And nobody connected the dots to say, well, what you're doing to yourself right now is going to lead to this psychotic state if you don't stop.
So now that you've experienced this unexplained miracle, and it truly is outstanding to hear you speak of it, how has this changed your life? How has this changed your relationship, your family?
Oh, when we look back, we're right around 3 years ago when all of this took place. And the relationships I have now with my children, my wife, Nicole, God has truly transformed me and given me a new heart. And I couldn't be more grateful for how more deeply and joyous every day is, because and again, that realization that if I surrender my will to him, all these beautiful things just keep happening. And take our marriage, for example. We had a bumpy road for a number of years, but now that we both placed God at the top of our marriage, in the center of our marriage, everything it's more beautiful than we ever dreamt.
That is just
great.
absolutely beautiful. Do you have any final pieces of advice for anyone who might find themselves struggling in a similar way?
Yeah, my advice would be, take the courage, reach out and ask for help. I know for me, for most of my life, I figured I could take care of everything. I was, very self-absorbed. It's okay to need help, and it's okay to ask for it. And I encourage everyone, to have that courage and strength, because my life transformed over just a period of months, and that's available for everyone that's struggling. They just need to start the process by asking for help.
Well, Joe, it's been great to hear your story, and thank you so much for writing the book for all of us so that we can learn from your experience, both the negative and the miraculous. And I hope that it contributes to the canonization of Blessed Michael McGivney, because I'm a fourth-degree knight myself, and I think we all the brothers want that to happen sooner than later. So once again, thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a blessed Triduum and a very, very happy Easter to you, your wife, and your family.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Claire, and many blessings.